How high can Bitcoin go? Are we going for a blow off top now? A blow off top. I've been saying this since like mid-April that we're heading for a blow off top. And basically, we can see that Bitcoin hasn't even pulled back much yet. And the reason why, as I've explained in my past number of videos, is that because the funding rate, right? The funding rate is still quite positive. Look at this. Well, it's not red at all yet. Look at this. If we get lots of these reds, right, and very big numbers, then it means it's a futures driven. It's a futures driven trade, and that means the market is overheating. We're going to pull back. So I've been just looking at this, incredibly, it's still a lot of blacks and a lot of greens. So not a lot of reds. So therefore, we're not overheated by any means. So I kept on saying that I don't see a big pullback yet. Now, I do say that when Bitcoin was around 96 area, I thought we're going to get a pullback to about 92. We didn't quite get there, only got to like 93, right? I said lower support would be around 88.5, but since then I've been saying, look, I don't see a big pullback because everyone's still shorting it. So now, in yesterday's video, I gave a possible target for a pullback. If there's going to be a possible target, it would be around 113K, and I explained the logic of why that will be the area. But so far, as I'm giving you guys updates, we are still not seeing too many longs here. We're still seeing these black funding rates are basically saying it's neutral. Reds are people going long, greens are people going short. So this is still quite a neutral looking board. So if Trump doesn't do anything crazy, there's only 2 or 3 things that could happen. If Trump doesn't do anything crazy, and if Japan doesn't blow up, then the futures exchanges, Binance, all those guys are not going to crash the market by 10, 15%. We're not going to see one of those big pullbacks. So we might see a small pullback around the 113K area, but so far, even that isn't looking all that likely because there's not a lot of longs. There's not a lot of longs for the exchanges to do anything about it. So today we're going to have a look at exactly what does a blow off top look like. People have been asking me, what do you mean by a blow off top? Well, most people should know who have been in the markets. A blow off top basically means it's bullish for the short term, but not greatly bullish for the longer term. Blow off top basically means it goes something like this. It goes like it's a blow off, boom, right, like a rocket explodes up, but top somewhere up there, like I don't know, 150, 200. We're gonna find out what number makes sense today. Top off there and then come down, right, and goes into a big bear market. But it's seeing a big melt up, big blow off top for the next few weeks, few months. I've been saying end of September to November. That area is where I think we could get the blow off top timing wise. But before we go on, let's first answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that is non-KYC. So that means you don't need to show your ID. That means basically the exchange can't even see who you are. So the IRS tax office can't see you. The FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. So this is my Pablo Jimenez link with Bitunix. Just by depositing, receive up to $200 US. Trade and win up to $35,000 US. But limited time only. On June 4th, it ends, right? So chance to win a Tesla Model 3 just by trading, Rolex watch, Apple Vision Pro, Sony, lots of great prizes. And keep in mind, folks, if you are watching this on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. But if you're watching on another platform, such as this one, that's okay. Just go to my profile page and it should be the first thing that, just go to my profile page and click on the stand link here and it should be the first thing that pops up because this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to Bitcoin. And remember, folks, this is only on the Pablo Jimenez link. Okay, only on the Pablo Jimenez link. Here we go. So a blow off top is something like, I'll just show you guys what it looks like for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin blow off tops and crypto blow off tops, they tend to, and stock market blow off tops, they tend to look different. They don't look exactly the same. So when was the last time we had a blow off top? The top in 2021 was not a blow-off top. It was a very sneaky double top. So here, this thing, it's not loading yet. So this is what a blow-off top would look like. Just as an experiment, we're looking at the last blow-off top because the 2021 was not a blow-off top. We saw that in 2021, Bitcoin topped at 64K, and then it did a double top at 69K. So if you look at the shape of it, it was rather flat. Let me just show you guys. If you just look at the shape of the two tops, like you literally could see that, like this is, why would you call that a blow-off top? It's more of a round top. If you have to describe that, round top, and this is overall a double top. Now this, right, looks every bit like a blow-off top. And here, blow-off top, especially this one. So the numbers get too crazy once we go back to like 2011, 2010, when Bitcoin was only like 50 cents or $1 or something. So it's much better if we just look at the closest example of a cyclical blow-off top that we have. So where would we be right now if we were looking at this chart? Where are we right now on this chart if we're trying to compare? Well, this was the old cycle top, right? And then Bitcoin did a double top here, right? This is all. I'm looking at, pointing to the chart of this is, by the way, this is. Let me pull it up so people can see the dates. This is 2017 bull run. So you have the all-time high. That's the equivalent of 69K for us, and then you have this this fake out here. That's the equivalent like a 73K fake out we had early last year. And then you have Bitcoin beat that top for one big leg up. This is a log chart. So by the way, that's a pretty big leg up, even though you might think that doesn't look big. Let me just remind folks, this is Bitcoin at old high at 1,250. This leg up is at 2,800. So it's more than 2x, more than 2x. So remember where we are right now. So where we are right now is about 110K. We've beaten the old top. I'm using 2017 bull run as an analogy of what a blow-off top looks like for the current bull run we have now. So we've got to beat the old top, right? The old top, old all-time high from the previous cycle, right? With one leg up, and that was where we peaked at 108, 109K, and then we go down. This may not look big on a log chart, but it is actually a pretty big pullback. The pullback down to 73K, and then boom, that's the next leg up. So let me just go in closer so I can show you guys what this would look like. So basically, this was when we went for a new leg up. This is, you can compare this to 108K, 109K, and this is the dip back to 73K, and then we come up, and as I said, we might get stopped at 113K for a small pullback, right? And then go up. So it's a bit abstract when I talk like this, but I've mapped this out to show you guys what a blow-off top would look like. It basically means Bitcoin would try to challenge the old top, right? Old previous cycle high top, beat it with one leg up, and then goes down, and then come up again, right? Go sideways. That's kind of where we are right now at 110K, and then go up for another one leg up, and then two leg up, right? Okay, that's mapped that onto this part. I've just mapped this out. And that's mapped that onto where we are currently. So keeping in mind, I'm trying to say this was 108K, this was 109K, this is a pullback to 73, 74K, and this is where we are right now, kind of like screwing around with the all-time high again, 110K or so, and then boom, how high is this leg up, and then this leg, and then this leg. I mean, even this leg is from 7,600 down to 5,500. Okay, small pullback. Let's have a look at, paste this onto where we are currently and see what the chart looks like. Okay, let's see. Okay, so when I paste, this is just for a thought experiment. not to be taken literally. So basically, we have posting it over, we have the 108K, 109K here. It's not exact. I mean, that's 100K, that 8K, that's 109K. And then we see basically this pullback down here to 73K, 74K, and then Bitcoin goes for another leg up. This is where we are right now. Now, Bitcoin last time basically did a small pullback around the old top. That's what I've been saying. We could get a small pullback here at 113K area, right? But then after that small pullback, where does it head? If we're to use that previous chart, what happened before, then basically it would point to something like 153, pull back to 100, then pull back to 107, right? Bounce off this old top of 110, 113K area, and then boom, go again to 214, 166. Now this is, but I'm just trying to show you guys what a blow off top looks like. It's not like what we saw in the last cycle of 2021 with the round tops and then go boom, right? This eventually goes to something like 410K, which I don't think will happen, and then boom, and then big bear market where it goes down 70, 80%. So to keep things realistic, the target I've always said is Bitcoin could hit in the next leg up. I said 113K is small pullback, if there is a pullback at all, depending on how hot the futures funding is, and then we get we should have a move easily above 120K. 120K would not be a blow off top, like 100 if it's below 120K. Once it goes above 120, 125, 130, 140, 150, somewhere there, that would be what a blow off top looks like. Now, we can't take these charts that I've just shown you guys literally, because this blue part of the chart was taken from 2017 when Bitcoin was still around $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, right? So when it was so small back then, of course, Bitcoin can make these crazy sort of like, 10x, 20x, 30x sort of moves. I'm anticipating the bull move to finish around between September to November this year, and then everything goes into a big bear market except gold and maybe silver, platinum. That's kind of my prediction for quite a while now. I've been saying this blow off top for a long time now. So even when Bitcoin was at 73, 74K, I said we should get a big bounce to at least above 100K, and a blow off top still cannot be discounted. We can't rule out a blow off top. It can still happen. And since mid-April, I've been saying, yep, it looks like we're going to get that blow off top in both stocks and Bitcoin. So we can't trust this blue chart because blue trend line, because this was when Bitcoin was 8 years ago, when Bitcoin was like $5,000, $3,000. It can move so much faster. Now it's like 20x bigger. But what we can take it from is that, like, maybe rather than 3 waves up like this, maybe we'll get 2 waves. And first wave, like 150, 160, big pullback, and then something like a second wave. We may not get that second wave up to as high as just above 200K, and then big bear market starts. A lot of people look at the Elliott wave theories, because that's sometimes a helpful guide. And if I was an Elliott wave guy, the way I've seen some of these guys draw this, the way I see some of these guys draw the Elliott wave is like this. I'm not a Elliott waves guy, but this is how I've seen some guys do it. They say that Bitcoin is currently, this entire bull run is basically in its, let me just shrink that. They say that Bitcoin, this entire bull run, this is the 5th leg. So in other words, they've been saying something like, I don't want to count the Elliott waves out for you. Something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, the fifth wave. So we're starting from 15K, we're inside the fifth wave, and one credible count that I think could be happening is that we have 2 more waves left, but inside the fifth final wave. So fifth wave is already the final wave. So it's basically something like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, that's 4, and then I'm not an Elliott waves guy, but the way I've seen them do it is basically say that there's third wave, fourth wave, and then fifth wave. So it would be quite big. So that's why I've been saying easily over 120K. Whether it gets over 200K or not, whether it ends around the mid 100s, like 140 to 160, not quite sure. There are different ways of looking at it, but today was just an exercise in what a blow off top would look like. And keep one thing in mind, guys. When I was obviously quite bullish, but I used the words blow off top. I didn't say it's going to be a big bull run. Big bull run means next 3 years, next 4 years, NASDAQ making new highs, Bitcoin making new highs, right? Forever bull run, up only. I didn't say that. I was very specific. I kept on saying blow off top. Blow off top, as I've shown you guys, is like a big move, but it tops within a few months. Like literally blow off, rockets up, right? Tops in a few months, and then we go down. And I think that's going to happen. And I think altcoin season's already started. And I think heading in the next few months, if we get that move above 113K, if we go straight up, breaking 120K, I think altcoin season very, very likely comes. And it's already started 3 or 4 5 weeks ago, when I've been telling everyone, been screaming at everyone that an altcoin season has started. Blow off top is coming. Blow off top is coming. This is April 29th. And then there are even earlier calls, and there are even a lot of calls in my Discord as well. It's slightly late when I put it on social media because my Discord gets it first. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you for next episode.